Hi, everybody. End of day one or post-op day one. One of the big things I had to do today was get up, get my back brace on, and sit up for dinner, which I'm currently doing, or which I just currently did. I apologize for the booger, the hair, the double chin, the beard, all that kind of stuff. I can't really help it at this point, but I want to make sure these video logs are kind of staying up to date in the moment, uh, so I can truly capture kind of what's going on. Number one is getting your back brace on hurts. If you think about what happened in surgery, you had a small tube put into your back, you had your muscles spread open, and then you on both sides, this is a minimally invasive TLIF on both sides, and then all that was closed up, sutured up, sewn up, and now they put you down, you lay flat for 24 hours. So you got to sit up in your bed and you got to put your back brace on. You take all the help you can get to do this. Take all the time you need. Don't be afraid to make it to have this whole process last 10 minutes. Then you have to go and you have to stand up. Standing up shouldn't be that big a deal, right? We think it's pretty easy. It's something we do every day. However, it's hard. Your legs are weak. They've been laying there. They haven't been active. You haven't been moving. The muscle fibers haven't been firing. And now you got to stand. You got to stand up, and it hurts, and it takes a long time. Once again, take the help, brace yourself, make a move, and then swing yourself into the chair where you're going to have dinner. And then once you sit down, you have dinner, sit upright, have your dinner. I'm still on clear liquids all the way right now. But enjoy your meal, watch TV, all that kind of good stuff. And then after dinner, they're going to want you to sit for just a little bit longer. That way you can kind of get accustomed to your back brace, your posture, all that stuff. And I will tell you, the back brace improves my posture a whole bunch. It just is hard to breathe, and it hurts. It hurt putting on. I'm sure it's gonna hurt taking off a little bit. So be prepared for those things. The other thing I was able to do today was speak with my surgeon. I think I mentioned this earlier. With the drugs, sometimes you tend to forget. So it's okay to keep asking for your nurse's name and your aide's name. They don't care. They understand what you're going through. But one of the things you want to make sure you do is write down any questions that you have from the day that maybe your doctor answered, but you've forgotten. Write them down and ask them again tomorrow. It's perfectly fine. I have a list going already that I'm going to ask more questions tomorrow, and I'm going to find out the answers to, and I'll write those answers down because people are going to want to know what's going on, and it's really hard it's really frustrating really when you can't answer them. So that's one of the key things, is being able to answer all the questions you possibly can for from your surgeon. And one of the things I want to make sure I do is get what are the next milestones and what are the milestones after that. That's number one. Number two is what happened during the surgery that may cause me challenges in the next few weeks. It may be a bit tough for me to handle in the next few weeks. So I have to know those things too. That way I can start to prepare myself and the work I got to do. Also, my kids came today. It was awesome, a blessing. Along with my wife. My wife will come back in the morning, which is great. It's I hate to say it, it's inspirational having them here because it makes you want to go home sooner. But their attention span's short, right? My children are younger, and they can't be around me or just around the hospital for hours on that. So make sure that there's a finite end date, an expiration date to their visit. Otherwise, they're just going to get very frustrated and start to annoy you, annoy who's ever around you, and not want to communicate, and that's no fun. So make sure they have a time where they can kind of come, and then they get to leave, and that's really good for them. And all that's age dependent, right? I mean, obviously, you have 18-year-old kids; they can stay around a little bit longer. 10, 11 is different. 5 is different from that. So make sure that they're staying in age appropriate length of time. Otherwise, it will become incredibly frustrating. So I think that so far I feel pretty good. It was really, really sore getting up for sure. It hurt a lot. Getting out of bed, getting the brace on, strapping it in. Um, None of that feels good, and none of it's easy, and and there's not a part of it that isn't frustrating. But know that as you get through each step, you're kind of getting closer to where you want to be, which is home and a kind of fully functioning life. Also, start paying attention to your tweaks and your twinges and all that kind of stuff. I really think that I want to talk to all that stuff, all those little things with my surgeon. Some of it I'm sure is fairly normal. I'm 99% of it I'm sure is all normal. But I want to make sure I go through that so I'm not laying in bed in the middle of the night freaking out. Because that's the last thing you want. That's the absolute last thing you want to do is be concerned about something that isn't really a problem. Um, the next, I would say, the other part is make sure you keep drinking fluids. As you can tell, I still have a ton of cotton mouth. I'm going to keep having cotton mouth for a while, and it's horrible. It's absolutely awful. So keep trying to ingest fluids and make sure you drink plenty of water and you feel good. And when you get up for the first time, what you're really looking for, and your surgeon will tell you this, is you're really looking for a headache, ringing in your ears, something that tells them there's a CSF leak, a spinal fluid leak, because that is a concern. Obviously, that didn't happen with me. It happens in such a rare, small percent of the cases, but it does happen. So that's kind of what you're on the lookout for. And 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 then as you get through the day, get prepared for night. Right, get all your questions done right away because, shockingly enough, my doc showed up when I was a little groggy. So it took me a few minutes to kind of get unbent and be able to really engage with them. So once I was able to do that, then we had a great conversation. But I had to be able to do that. So that's why I think it's important to get all those, anything you want to tell him or he needs to know, he or she needs to know, write them down, be ready to go, for the next day. Keep the other part is anybody who sent texts, emails, little get well wishes, all that stuff is awesome. I cannot tell you how much that means, even though you might not get a response right away because of what we're doing. That's my nose thing going off because it's not all the way up in my canyon. That's not reading the oxygen. But all that stuff is very important. Okay, and it's so welcome. So here's to a hopefully restful night, and talk to everybody in the morning.